Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome.
Welcome. I know you have a So Fired moment.
What is it again?
The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah. That show.
Yeah.
What were you going to say it is?
Okay, so the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders show
was my favorite.
Yeah. And it just got canceled.
I just found out like a day or two ago, and I'm really kind of bummed.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's not that dramatic, but it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to.
I've been doing that for like 10 years.
But now, the So Fire to Fire moment is that you told me about these 900-page books about all the presidents.
Actually, that does sound way cooler.
Yeah,
I do kind of like presidential history better than I do like Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. So now I'll just do it. Oh, yeah, you know what I could do? Every season, it's like, back to President's Week at the same time, like the NFL kicks off. But yeah.
So does that mean you read a book every week?
No. For the NFL season, like one presidential book during the NFL season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
my God. Yeah. Because you're not going to read more than one presidential history a year.
Probably not. I mean, I don't know, maybe like 2 a year.
No.
But they're so thick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a hiking a 14er, like a one-time done it. Anyway, so that's my fire.
It's just time to read 1,000-page books.
Good.
I don't really have one. I had one, I couldn't remember it. So
sweet.
Yep.
This weekend. How was it?
Oh my gosh, my birthday weekend was so fun. Okay, so we kind of
where'd you go?
We went to Aspen. Mm-hmm. Kind of how we went to Aspen a few weeks ago. We stopped in Glenwood Springs, went to the same practice place, and then we went to Maroon Bells.
Was it good?
Yeah, so good.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That fruit.
The fruit was so good.
Did you have it again?
Because that was much better.
Much better this time?
Yeah.
The second time?
I know.
I have literally restarted eating. I've started eating cantaloupe again for the second time in my life. Like officially, I'm like, yo, I love cantaloupe. Since that Glenwood trip.
Yeah, it was juicier even this time.
I bring a cantaloupe with me every time Ken and I go hiking.
And they're not always that juicy?
No, but just because the fruit at this restaurant was so good.
It was so good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so you went there.
So we went there. Okay, so then we went over to Maroon Bells.
Okay.
We wanted to make Maroon Bells a little bit more interesting, more like elevated state of mind.
Nice.
So,
okay, let's put that pin in that, right? Okay, because anything else, because that's going to be like a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have anything else to say before we start there?
I had a great dinner. Clark's Oyster House was great.
I don't know where that is.
It's like in the main area. I don't know. I don't know directions or like street names, but
is there anything near there? You were in
where is it? Oh, it's kind of by Kemosabe.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, we stopped at Kemosabe.
How was that?
Good. I was like, oh my gosh, they had this trunk show there with knives, and the knives are made out of meteorite, mammoth tusk, and like something else. So I was holding this knife, and I think it was made out of a meteorite, and then the handle was a mammoth tusk. It was $17,000.
Oh my God.
I was like, you can have this back. I don't want to drop it.
Like, what was it?
It was just like a cheese knife. Yeah, and it was very heavy. I'm like, so what do you use this for? She's like, like cutting cheese or like cutting maybe like a steak or something. And I was like,
no way.
Yeah.
That's silly.
I know, right?
That is ridiculous.
I know.
My mom would have bought the shit out of that. She would have bought a set of two.
Yeah, they were silly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we stopped there. We hit up the hot springs on the way back in Glenwood.
How was it?
It was good. Very hot in the smaller pool, and then there's a diving board there.
I can't believe I've never gone.
It's good.
I'm twice now this summer.
Yeah.
The last 6. Anyway,
I think we stayed for like an hour and a half or so.
Cool.
Kind of kicking it.
Nice.
Yeah. Overall, great experience.
Mm-hmm. Overall, is there a little room where it isn't? Like 100%? Well, we haven't got.
Yeah. No, it's an excellent experience. I'm telling you without the details.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a recap of a weekend or anything. But yesterday when I left yoga, I left early. It was Jess. Do you know Jessie? No, Jess.
I don't know her.
She's cool.
Okay.
Anyway, she's really cool, and she does like everyone comes to her 8 o'clock p.m. flow, and it's like a thing. And she's young, but she like talks really like they're trash garbage. I don't know. She's kind of trendy. Like she is a Gen Xer that like gets everybody motivated.
Oh.
I don't know how else to do it.
Okay.
Maybe like a late millennial. Anyway, so she does it, and I like have a lot of. I mean, she's one of those few instructors you still kind of like want her to like you.
Oh. Is that one where you'll take a shout out during class, or
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I fangirl on her a bit, but I'm like, oh. So, but I've just resigned. Like I'll never be as cool as her. She's cool, and that's cool. And I'll just be like awkward around her and be like, you know what I mean? So I go to her class yesterday, and it's a 5:15 hot. I guess I haven't taken a hot fusion in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Room 2, under the heater.
hot, hot AF. You're literally dripping.
Everything was like,
Yeah.
I came out wet where it was so cold, like the wind was hitting me yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm so wet, I'm that cold, but just a little bit of breeze, like, oh. Anyway, I had to leave. I chose to leave her class. I didn't have to. I chose to leave her class early yesterday.
Because you were so hot?
No, it was like almost 6:30. I wanted to get home and walk the dogs before 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, let's just get through it. I'm not going to bed for the rest of the night. I still got to be up and at 'em anyway, so let's just get to it, right?
Yeah.
Some people may think that's sacrilegious, but that's what happened. And then, so I got up, and it was like Shavasana was starting.
Oh.
And I was like,
go.
Wait. Hang on. And I've got like my mat and my phone and my keys. And no, I don't bring my phone into yoga. But and so I leave and then drop everything outside the door. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even have time to like rope it up and like sling it over and like get my water bottle and my stuff. So I just like left it, dropped it outside the door. And then I was like, and so I'm like rolling it up, getting it down. I'm like down the hallway.
Yeah.
Like
exiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took a left.
Yeah.
I hear, thanks for coming, Charles. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, am I super high? No. But she fucking left class during their Shavasana.
And yelled
down the hallway, thanks for coming, Charles. I was like, fuck yeah. Yeah, you're right, I came. And then what did I say? I was like, sorry, I had to leave early. I was like, why did you have to say that? You couldn't have just been like,
I thought you were just going to be like,
yeah, I know. But instead I was like, sorry, I had to leave early. So stupid. I'm like, I'm so dumb.
No, like usually you don't even talk. You're like, okay, bye, whatever. Yeah.
But I was like, that's what I mean. I fangirled out. And my true fangirl would be like, I'm sorry. So that was last night.
When I went to yoga yesterday, I went to the 45-minute sculpt class.
Yeah, how was that?
With Rose.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love 45 minutes.
I do too.
And I haven't seen her in so long. So we're facing the side mirror. She's over there demonstrating, and I'm always in that side wall spot.
Is
she's
this
like
3?
1.
Uh-huh.
She's like, hey girl, what? She's like going through the motions. She's like, okay, everyone. And then bend and extend. 2 and 3. Breathe in, breathe out. She's like, hey girl, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a minute. I was like, I know, right? Like, she's like, what have you been up to? I was like, well, my shoulder's been hurting. I had a birthday. She's like, ew, you're a Virgo? Like, no offense, but you don't seem like a Virgo. And I was like, I know, right? Like, it trips a lot of people out.
Legit combo with
legit combo in the middle of class.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was amazing.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh. So yeah, also great yoga experience. I fangirl out over Rose. Like,
I do too.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
I know.
You know what though? It makes me feel happy to know because in the old days, like 12 years ago, there was more of a headliner lineup where there were multiple people. So you had like Rose, Patty,
Julie, Melissa,
yep. So they were more like great caricatures of instructors, and like we were united by like Rose, huh? Oh, like or like Julie's. Ooh, like everybody, you knew what kind of girl you were based on what class.
Yeah,
right. You knew your instructors back then. You knew your instructors by name, and they knew you by name.
They knew you by name because it's their job to know you by name.
I know, but now it's like I don't know. I don't find myself connecting with them as in like that epic character kind of way.
Yeah, now I feel like we can just have a conversation right in the middle of class.
Yeah, and now it's lost some of that integrity. I don't know integrity is the right word. it's maybe just a sign of the times then that the last 10 years ago, they needed it was a very tight-knit community.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever wanted to hear my fangirl about Core Power in Cherry Hills?
I would also say, like, when I first joined Core Power 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
it was definitely more culty.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was like, okay, this is my spot. This is my class.
Yes.
Do not mess with me. And now I think since after COVID, since there's such a shakeup in the organization and the teachers, now it's more accessible almost, or they're not like
pedestrian.
It's not like they're on a pedestal as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. They are not represented in the classes anymore.
No.
They used to be, and it's a lot like politics. It's very political. But it's true, like this, what used to be congregation that is also this neighborhood was predominant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recent years, that just isn't the makeup of the demographic anymore. You're having like more Xers, younger Xers, I mean like older Xers. Now we're getting into your like millennials. So it's like, that's on whole a larger representation of what's happening in the city and like globally.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's finally catching up to CHCPY.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like, oh, is it COVID? Or is it just like the sign of the times? And it's nice to kind of see how do you feel about it?
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it because
love it.
I was so intimidated the first few times I went in there.
They were so mean.
They were so mean. I'm like,
I'm so
okay. Yeah, because like it was so scary to go in there.
Yes. Okay, I know. Okay, heads up. Super sorry for yelling. We yelled a lot last week, but
you
that's
yelled so loud.
I know. So I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
We're gonna turn it down, but we're gonna get really loud right now.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a head. I used to feel that way too. I was like, why am I humiliated to come in here?
Yeah, because it was literally like, oh, you're new here. Who invited you to the party?
You felt like the fattest, like brokest bitch in middle school. Maybe even middle school. How bad did it feel? It was like middle school bad, right?
Yeah, it was like middle school bad.
Or is it high school bad?
No, well,
high school?
I don't know. What's worse?
Because one feels differently. Oh boy.
I don't know. Maybe like middle school bad. I'd say more middle school.
Middle school is more of like a guttural, paralyzed fear.
Middle school is more like everyone's ganging up on you and you can't sit with us because you're not cool. That kind of feeling.
I've had both.
Okay.
Because then recently I'm like, I'm kind of her equal. Why the fuck does that bitch think she's any more special? Like that's like the high school equivalent.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I was just like fucking paralyzed with fear because everyone was rich as fuck and they all knew each other. And they were just like, it was like being stuck in like a really snotty sorority and like, but wanting to be there so fucking bad.
I know, like, but I want to be in the group too. Like, I want to be in your rich sorority. Just take me with you. Like, can I be adopted into your family?
Here's a fire to so fire moments. The fact that we kept taking it on the chin.
I know. Like, I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to wear these bitches down. Like, we will be friends. Now Sharon, who's in the sculpt class, 12:30 at Rose, now she like looks at me, she's like, girl, you're coming to class? I'm like, yeah, girl, I'll see you there. So
now we're there. But you know what? I have something sad to say.
What?
The one we've inherited, the CPY, the core power that we have inherited, is not the one we wanted from back in the day. We've inherited the 2022 version of core power.
I know, but I guess I'm okay with that because I don't want to be
them.
I don't want to be them. I don't want someone to walk in and be like, this snotty little bitch is like staring me down because I'm taking her spot. Like, I like how it's more friendly now, and I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still core power. It's still amazing.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm not. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, at Upswell, the other studio that I work out at, the whole thing is like, come as you are.
Friendly. You know why I like that better?
Why?
Because there is no imprint. That it doesn't have an evil, looming, nasty, cunty sister. Like, it's like Upswell is like, yo, I'm walking in with you guys, same time, over the threshold together. Let's do this. So there's like no imprint of anything.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's mostly all ex-core power people.
Well, you yet again set in. Point made. We didn't intend for today's.
Sorry, we don't mean to go on off the rails
this is
about
very
yoga,
something. But it is it. Our little yoga world is a little representation of life on the whole, right? And it's very organic, just like the dynamic. And this is like the outer world impacting our little audio world, and now it's affecting you. So suck at it. No, but it is how those little things. Why am I so itchy and touchy? I'm so sorry.
I don't know. And I'm like, should I be more itchy and touchy? Like this?
Oh, I gotta get the mitts back. And I think the more I start thinking, the harder I start rubbing. And
you just sit on those hands over there and rock back and forth.
I will never be able to do anything legit. I have an itch on my face. Like, you don't
do it. Don't do it.
Anyways,
we took separate trips this week.
Yeah.
Should I finish recapping mine, or do you want to
recap
yours? Okay, so like I was saying, we went to Maroon Bells.
I'm no longer a podcaster now. I'm just going to straight up listen, okay?
Okay, and we wanted to have a more enlightened experience, kind of do something a little bit out of the ordinary, and, you know,
breadcrumb this, okay?
Have Mother Nature enhance our experience. Nice. So I'm like, okay, we're on our way from Glenwood to Aspen. It's about 45 minutes or so.
Okay, wait. What time of day is this?
This was at noon.
All right, a little bit later than I anticipated. And you're at what part?
So we're just leaving breakfast at this moment.
Oh.
And we're driving.
Okay, so you're at least an hour away.
Yes.
And then 2 hours away from actually getting to the mountain. Is that about right?
Like an hour and a half or so, yeah.
Oh, but you gotta find it.
Yeah, you gotta wait. Yeah, you gotta wait.
Or an hour 45.
Oh, sorry. I should say this was 11 o'clock because our shuttle was at noon. Okay. 11 o'clock.
I'm really getting in.
11 o'clock. We're done with breakfast. And I was like, okay, our shuttle leaves at noon. Let's head over to Aspen. And we're like driving through town. Like, so, like, do you think now would be a good time to maybe,
oh my God,
like, get this party started? Yeah.
This is what today's episode is about. This is it.
And Austin's like, yeah, I think so. Here, let me get my...
You guys are so awkward. Okay, but
he's
I like how you were like, are you going to say this, motherfucker? Hi. How long? Okay, wait.
Well, it was more of like the discussion of like, okay, so I want to do this. So, like, would now be a good time? Or like, should we ride bikes and do it? Or should we go to dinner?
You're so, like, articulate about it.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, I'd like to talk about this now. Is there a plan? I mean, like, we put it out in the open. Let's acknowledge this. And now, like, so what's the plan? And he's still like,
he's like, yeah, I think like now would be a good time.
I can hear you two awkward ones from the back seat and be like, you guys are so weird.
How else is it supposed to go?
Should we disrobe now? Would you like?
Is it supposed to be more like, hey man, what's up? Like, you want to do now?
No,
like,
you know this? Hey, you want to party? Hey, do you like to party?
Keep that tongue in your mouth. Okay, so anyways, he's like, yeah, now would be a good time because it takes a little bit for it to kick in.
All right.
So he pulls out the supplies and he's digging through the bag and he's like, you know
Where is he? Where are you?
We're in the car driving.
He's doing this while he's fucking driving.
Yeah. So he's like digging through the supplies and
like he's driving and he's like,
he like takes out his little purse.
Where is it? Like,
no, it's like in a little plastic baggie in the center console.
Okay, we shouldn't double down on. Okay.
So
then.
So you pull out the plastic baggie. It's a red plastic bag full of supplies. And he opens it up and he starts like kind of digging through the supplies and he pulls one out and it's about this big. And
you're so descriptive. Did you make sure to remember all these things because you knew I'd be like,
of course.
And then what?
Yeah, exactly. And then he pulled out another one and he's like, okay, so this one's a little bit bigger than this one. I think you should probably start with this one. I'm like, okay, I heard it tastes kind of bad. So I take out a Larabar because, you know, I don't want to have a disgusting taste in my mouth. Sure. So I break off. I chew it down. I was like, I've tasted things way more disgusting than this.
I know. It was not that far away.
Yeah.
Then Are you not taking supplements?
I know, right?
Seriously.
So then I'm like, chase it with a Larabar. I'm like, nom nom nom.
Speaking of which.
So I have,
thirsty?
yeah. By the way, it did make me very thirsty. So then, okay, one and done. And then 45 minutes later.
What time is this?
This is about now it's about 11:45. And we roll up to Maroon Bell's shuttle parking. Because you have to park in the parking lot to get on the shuttle. Yep, same place. Okay. To get on the shuttle that buses you to Maroon Bells, which is another half an hour shuttle ride. So we get there and I was like, I'm not feeling a lot at the moment. So I think I'll just do one more.
Oh, you were balls.
Uh-huh.
Why the fuck would you double that?
Because by that point, it's 45 minutes later, and I'm I'm not really feeling a thing.
Savage.
And I'm I want to make this experience worth it.
Oh, Chelsea fucking had
and I was like, Chelsea definitely did way more than 2. Yeah. So I take another one. It's about the same size. I'm like, okay, cool. So.
Okay, cool. What?
I'm like, okay, cool. I'm ready to go. So we go check in at the shuttle. We have to wait in the orange moose line.
Again?
Yep.
Same one? Mm-hmm. Same driver?
Nope. Different driver, I think. But there's a spiel.
There was a spiel when we left.
Oh, I guess I didn't listen the first time.
What about the most living organisms underneath and blah, blah?
No, it was more about don't leave your parking pass here because you won't be able to get back on the shuttle.
No, I definitely did.
I know. I didn't
Where
know
was that?
I don't know. But I had leggings with pockets in them. So I put the parking pass in my pocket. Because you know how last time I didn't have it immediately and I was like, oh my God, we don't have a way to get back.
Yeah.
You just pay $10 a person if you lose it on the way back. But then I had my cell phone in the other pocket because I wanted to go hands-free.
Yes.
No bags or anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's...
Austin and I literally had nothing with us.
What about a car key?
We had a car key. He had the car key. I had my cell phone and the parking pass, and everyone has backpacks, bags,
I'm so
purses.
Envious. And you know how much I hate fucking carry? Tell me more.
Okay,
I like this.
So yes, so I'm hands free, and
did that enhance the experience?
100%.
Oh my God! Even I had a bag.
I know.
Oh, you know what? I love hands free. Look at me. I'm literally. Oh my.
But we look like a bunch of tourists who don't know what we're doing.
No, you look free.
I was free. I'm
didn't that feel so good?
Yeah.
So you know what that means is what an emotional weight.
I know. Nothing's weighing down.
Celebrating the fact that we always have to carry stuff. In the old days, you could just walk out.
Yeah.
You didn't have a key or a phone.
I know. So yeah, that's
could you imagine? How can we just spend 1/6? You just leave without things now.
I know. Oh, you don't have a phone?
They literally maybe didn't even bring the house key.
I know.
Would be
you
there.
probably just left with a wallet.
Cash.
Yeah, cash.
Bills. You didn't have a wallet?
Right. You didn't have a phone.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you always had to carry a purse. You always have. I didn't.
I always had a purse.
I did not.
But I like to accessorize with a purse.
Yeah. But I never. Oh my God, I miss those days.
Now you have this fanny pack. I know. I didn't even bring a fanny pack. So.
All right. Sorry. Okay. I got us off tangent.
Okay. So we get on the bus and we're 5 minutes into the shuttle ride and I'm getting so nauseous.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I overdid it. Oh, I overdid it. I'm nauseous. I'm going to look out the window. I'm looking out the window. I'm just going to keep looking out the window. And then,
that's the worst.
And the body starts to take effect. The whole body high experience, the body high is kicking in. And it's all right, don't talk to me for 2 seconds. Just looking at these people in front of me. I'm like, don't talk to me either. Okay. And then at some point I was like, I'm kind of nauseous. And Austin's like, yeah, once you get over that, it's great. And he's like, oh, I should have told you that if you throw up, then you really feel great. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be doing that.
I could totally hear you say that. I will not be doing that. Count down all the questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was like, oh, God. But by the time the shuttle ride is over, the nausea has subsided.
How long was the ride?
35-ish minutes or so.
You were nauseous for 35 minutes? Did you?
And my head felt really heavy. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah. That is it. That is the sound. I would 100% of all the audible noises, that would have been my choice. I don't know. Yeah. All right.
So, but then we arrive at Maroon Bells. I'm like, okay, tummy feels good. I'm good to go. So we get off the bus, and of course, I was just at Maroon Bells a week ago, and Austin was not there. And Austin's like, "Which way do we go?" I'm like, "This way." And he's like, "Which way?" I'm like, "Just follow me." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know why I ever question you in directions because you always know where you're going." I'm like, "I know." Hello. I was just here. I'm like, "Okay, so we're gonna walk this way, and then you're gonna see the Maroon Bells in about 2 seconds."
That's the way he likes it.
Yeah, he
Right?
does like it.
He likes being like led.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
You know what?
Without me, he said he'd be very lost.
Actually, you know what?
What?
Yeah, I am the same person.
I know.
I like to be led.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's like having your own like private tour guide / concierge who's like, don't worry. I've done all the research. We're taking no risks here. Everything I picked out for us is the way you would want it to be. And it's like, oh, it's like you know what you're doing? Oh my God. You are like a marketing, like a real live marketing vacation. Because you're like, Chelsea, I know what you like. Then we will do these things here.
And I always have options, like option A,
Like
B,
you
and
knew
C.
what kind of ice cream experience I wanted in Glenwood. And you're like, we didn't just fucking randomly. I did fucking research, motherfucker, that I know the reviews, that this is fucking worth it. If we're driving a good 54 minutes, like
to get this ice cream,
you're like,
it's gonna be worth it.
And I'm like, oh, we just happened to stumble on this. And you're like, no, bitch, I like curated the fuck out of that for the last 25 minutes we were driving here. This was the best. Like, her recommendations aren't like, wow, we just stumbled on something fucking remarkable.
No, I'm like a low-key sleuthy concierge.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm like, oh, I don't know, this might be okay.
Now, I did get us that restaurant.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
That was amazing.
That was,
you stumbled upon that
I
one.
legit, like, old-timey, like, stumbled, like, whoa, what's in this? And that was incredibly rewarding.
It was.
Because I was, like, a little scared. Who meanders anymore?
I know.
No one fucking is like, I'm just gonna go down here and see what happens. Like, ever. Would you ever think to go through a thing you didn't like?
Never.
I'm like, I just wanted to creep in.
I would have gone through the front door, I guess, of the bookstore.
No, but if you thought you were walking up the backside, would you have stopped and then walked back down?
You
wouldn't have like plowed through the kitchen and been like, excuse me.
Because that would have done.
I was literally like, what's his name? Godzilla. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Ooh, that looks good. What's happening? And they're like, bookstore. I'm like, they knew I was there.
Let me get back to my story. Okay, so we're in Aspen, and we at Maroon Bells, and we get to the Maroon Bells, and it's beautiful, obviously, and it's like full effect now. I am feeling it.
What's happening?
So we're right by the photo op area where there's so many people, and I'm like, Austin, should we ask someone to take a photo? He's like, no, not now.
No, he's so right. You're not supposed to look at yourself.
No. And then I was like, okay, so Chelsea and I did this hike, but we're not doing that hike. I'm like, let's walk the other way. And we walked in the opposite direction of the Maroon Bells. Because I'm like, oh, there must be a cute little lake loop. But I looked on the map when we got over there, and it's a long ass lake loop.
It is, isn't it? We should have done that.
So yeah, we should have done that one. So then instead we turn right back around, go towards the Maroon Bells again, stare at them because they're amazing and beautiful. Yeah. Take a couple photos.
Do you think you appreciated it more?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. It's just like, oh my God, it's amazing. I can't stop looking at it. So we walked past the Maroon Bells because there's like a little tinier scenic.
Was it cartoony?
No. Because
cartoony.
I didn't take that part. If you only do the stem, it's more body. Yeah. So we walk past the Maroon Bells because you can kind of go down like right closer to the edge of the lake.
There would be a chance it wasn't exactly the same.
I know.
Damn, I would have loved to have known your mind.
But we found this.
That's what happened. I took a lot of mine.
Yeah.
Oh. It was like a.
Yeah. No. But it does come in waves. So we found this little bench that was just overlooking the creek. And the creek was like flowing by. There's a little bridge that crosses over.
So proud
You're looking at the Maroon Bells. And we just sat on this bench.
I'm so proud of you.
And Austin's like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm on the verge of a giggle fit at all seconds.
That is such a corny way of saying it. I think everything's funny.
And we sat there and we giggled and we laughed and we talked for like so long and we're just like giggling and laughing, taking a photo. And then of course like people are stopping by and I was like, I wish these people were gone right now. Like they're ruining my view. And then like I got up and I was like, I bet you the water's like really cold. This is when we're about to leave. And I'm like, okay, I want to touch this water. I'm like, oh, it's so cold. I'm like, feel the water. It's so cold. It's so cold. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so cold. But like, we sat there for a very long time. Just like,
how long?
Probably like an hour. Yeah. Just like staring off, looking at all the scenery, taking it in, talking, laughing, laughing. Yeah. And it was so fun. I got up at one point and, or no, this was like when we were walking over to the little hike. And you know, there's like grasshoppers and stuff that fly around and bugs.
The ones that make you scream.
And I thought one was on me and stuck in my pants. I was like, oh my God, there's a bug in my pants. There's a bug in my pants. I'm like, Austin, there's a bug in my pants. And he's like, no, it's just a giant tag in your pants. And I'm like, get it off of me. But it was like sewn in there because it wasn't the Lulu tag, it was the Athleta tag. And those are sturdy. So he's trying to
that paddle box.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's just a tag. I'm like, whew. Okay, I thought there was like a butterfly stuck in my pants.
Oh my God, I would have pushed you off that plane. Like, shut up.
So like that was really funny.
Shit.
So yeah, we giggled and laughed and giggled, talked, chit-chatted. And then, you know, it's still going on, like how it comes in waves. So then we went back.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I guess.
I know. Yeah, it kind of like comes and goes in waves. So then we went back to we got back on the shuttle. Everything's good. We went back to our Airbnb, and then I got like a mocktail. He got a cocktail. And we're just sitting outside, laughing, giggling, chit-chatting, looking at the people doing their mountain biking. And then, of course, I brought the bikes on this vacation because I'm like, we're gonna bike around. And Austin's like, that's really thoughtful and cute that you thought we're gonna bike around. I was like, yeah, we're not biking anywhere.
That might have been the best line of the trip. Nice one, Austin.
Yeah. So like start to like wear off a little bit. Getting ready for dinner. I'm like, yeah. and we're like, one more for dinner. They're like, dinner's so good. And like we're just like,
it's such a
oh my God. So okay, so we went to the Hotel Jerome. Very nice, fancy hotel. And this is when it kicked back in again. And we're sitting in these high back wingtip chairs where like you can't see out of the sides.
Right.
And like you're sunk in. So
not a great time.
So I took a photo looking at half of the library and Chelsea was like, why'd you take a photo like that? I'm like, because that's the angle I was stuck at. Like,
oh my God.
I want to see it again. And then the waitress was like, what can I get you? And I'm like, I'm like, my mouth stopped working temporarily.
Oh, no. Were you like mortified?
I know. I just started laughing. I was like, oopsies.
I would like it if I was like that. Like, oh, isn't that silly?
Yeah, I'm like, it was so silly. And Austin loved the Hotel Jerome. It was so cool. Yeah. I definitely want to go back again.
I'm feeling some personal pride too now that I was able to do this for you. And now because you feed me all the time. And I'm like, oh, finally a place I can just download and here it is.
Yeah. So yeah, like that was really fun. And like dinner was fun. And we missed the bus to get back to Snowmass, so we had to wait an hour.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah, it was fine. Cried the bus on the way back.
Oh no. What time did you get back?
Let's see, the bus left at 11, so we got back at midnight.
Oh, that's a big hour though between those 2 hours.
Because we missed the bus at 10. Or we got there like 10:15 and we had to wait the 45 minutes or like hour to get back
just
on the bus.
Once on the hour, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was all good. And then I loved it because I'm not hungover the next day. But my mouth was so dry. I'm like,
I didn't have that great of an experience.
Yeah. So overall, 10 out of 10. It was so fun. It was a real bonding experience for Austin and I. And obviously, of course, it was the Lindsay experience. And just lots of giggles. And everything was amazing. I'm like, everything's so beautiful.
Why is everything always a Lindsay experience or a Chelsea experience?
I don't know.
I totally got the Chelsea experience. And I'm like, man. Actually, no, that's not always my case.
No, I don't think so.
No, but this one wasn't ideal.
No. So
I thought it was so brilliantly curated and like, oh, I got it from like a guru who kind of knows stuff, who has his own scale.
I think maybe where it went wrong for you was that, yes, he waited out for you, but the amount was just like a lot.
I didn't ask any questions either.
See, that's like the thing when you're ingesting something, you gotta take it in increments.
Listen to this bitch.
Okay, this is why I don't do
it.
any edibles, like weed edibles, because I cannot like get the perfect dosage ever.
How the fuck did you get perfect dosages out of like puccini mushrooms? I'm like, I don't know. I sliced and ate here. A scale.
Yeah, I don't know. 2 stems.
That is such an imperfect science. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like agreeably, I wasn't roofie per se, but I was like questionably. Anyway, yeah, no, it wasn't very.
Yeah, so I dropped Chelsea off at the park last week after we were done recording, and she had all these morsels in a PB&J.
Yeah. It was like everything spice.
Yeah. She takes her PB&J, eats it on the way. I'm like, all right, peace out. See you this afternoon when I pick you up.
It's really cute. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to stay because I don't want people.
No. Very cute park. She's like FaceTiming me, FaceTiming everyone.
It was water.
Yeah.
It was the most beautiful idea. I've never been, I don't remember a more beautiful day.
It was lovely. And I went to go pick her up and she's like, don't you think we're leaving right away? I was like,
that really made an impression on you. That one
I know. Line. And I was like, okay.
Aren't you glad? It was still pretty fun.
Yeah, it was still pretty fun.
Was it anything like what you experienced with Austin?
No.
Not the same way, but do you know what I mean? The sentiment or feeling or like in terms of giggling?
Yeah, I like giggling. Yours is just more like repetitiveness of the things that you were saying and...
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Or just like, there's more people around.
Yeah.
So you're more like, look at this person. We just didn't have that many people around us.
You're straight up in nature.
Yeah. And the people, oh my gosh, I did take a photo of Austin being the best Instagram husband for a random family.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, haha, I actually get this joke.
Yeah. So, like, that was our people interaction. Yeah.
Mine was terrible. I'm so envious.
You had, I think yours is exactly what you needed. Mine is exactly what I needed. And
mine was
we can do it again. We have leftovers.
I had an emotional, like, extraction. Over?
Nope, that's my text messages.
Oh, an emotional extraction of an experience.
Yeah,
like as if you went to the esthetician.
Yeah. You also told me I'm gonna have kids in 8 years, and I was like, no. You're like, no, you listen to me now.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. God willing.
God willing, I hope you're wrong.
You do that?
All
right. Yeah. Sweet.
For
next time.
Yeah.
Mine was such a bummer. I feel like, well, it's something else. Like, well, how much time do we have? We're at. All right. Well, there's so many more things to talk about from here.
I know. Finish it on advice of Bessie's. Advice on dosaging.
No, we're just we're talking about snow.
Yeah, it's not. We'll do part 2 on our follow-up
somewhere. Let's do a part 2 or we'll just. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
great. Okay, that was awkward and not very like. Be cool.
Well, do you want to wrap it up in like a few minutes?
I don't know that I can.
Okay,
I don't think I can do it that fast.
Okay, no, I don't think so either. We should definitely dive into your experience.
Huh. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so
I mean, you might enjoy it. I don't. Yeah, it was.
I think so.
It's made a lasting impact.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of good takeaways.
All right. So next time.
Okay, so until next time.
This just became a 2-part series on the spot. That's awesome. Wow, that's what kind of podcast we're turning into.
But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and make sure that you stay tuned for our follow-up episode, and then our advice from besties later in the week. And make sure you rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you see the So Fired merch. It's available at sofiredpod.com. Bye. Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.